What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we decided to stay one more night here at Pedro's campground, or Camp Pedro. I don't know what it's called. Seems like every time I see a sign for it, it's called something different. So anyway, today I am officially working on this outlet since I have some time and I want to get this done before we pull out. So somebody had mentioned that the screws are probably rotten from water damage or whatever. This is totally solid all the way around, all up to it and everything. There's no water damage at all. So I am 100% certain that I either tripped on it at 4 in the morning when I was filling it up with gas and I pulled on the wire and it ripped it out, or somebody was being a jerk, in nice terms, and pulled it. Maybe they thought maybe they would see. Now this is a twist lock. I can't do it right now, I can't show it to you, but when you put this cord in, it goes in and then it twists and it locks in place, so it can't just fall out. Now it also has this ring which threads on and keeps it connected to the receptacle part as well. So if somebody did try to be slick and just pull it, it's gonna, and they use a lot of force, it's gonna pull the whole thing out, which I'm guaranteeing you it's either me or somebody pulled it out. That's it, because there's no way this whole thing would be dangling on the floor. If you missed that video, you can go back to my last video and check it out. Basically came outside to wrap up and the whole thing was kind of just dangling here. So I don't know what happened. Like, the whole receptacle was totally removed. All 4 screws were out, everything. So now that these screws were ripped out, only these bottom 2 are grabbing because the hole is much bigger on the top. I'm guessing it came out from here and kind of scraped the sidewall, and it made the hole where the screws go a lot bigger, so there's nothing from the screws to bite to now. So what I'm going to do, I got a whole bunch of self-tapping screws. If you guys full-time RV, you have to carry tools, screws, nails, whatever you need, duct tape, seam tape, caulking, to be able to fix stuff on the road, because sometimes you have an emergency. You might be somewhere where there's just really no help, and you have to help yourself. You have to rely on yourself. That's kind of the world we're coming into now. It's very hard to find good help nowadays. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put a self-tapping screw, so it's going to cut through this plastic, no problem, and it's going to go right in here and hold it nice and tight. Same thing on the other side. You don't really have room on the bottom to do that, but I think this top one is really gonna hold it in, and the bottom one's bit anyway, so they're pretty much in. I did think about doing some of this Gorilla Glue Max Strength construction adhesive. I may stick some in there a little bit, just on the sides, just for extra. But this is, I think it's kind of like a color. It says clear, but I don't know. I just don't want you to see it. I'm also gonna clean up this caulking, by the way. I'm gonna get rid of that first and put this in there nice and neat. That way we get a nice tight flush seal and no water will get in there, and we'll be good to go. You can see I already went around all these when I first got the camper. Well, actually probably about a week ago. Not really when I first got it, but I went around everything. Went around all the trims. These love to leak, so if you have a slide, these things, always check these seals on the bottom and on the top. I did the windows, I did everything, guys. I checked all these, I caulked. I mean, I went ham, as the young kids would say. So they are good to go. So yeah, so I'm gonna screw this in, put some of this, screw it in, and then do the caulking around it, and we'll call this project done. All right, guys, about 3 minutes later, she is all caulked up, screwed in. You can see these black self-tapping screws above here. I did put one on each corner again, just to reinforce it, and they held really tight. They really sucked it in, so I'm not really too worried about that. It's gonna be tight in there, it's heavy duty. Plus I used some of the adhesive on the back side, so that'll dry as it, now that it's pressed in there, it'll dry over time. Plus it's really hot today, so it's gonna do it quick. The only thing I think is kind of weird is this door. The whole door moves. See the whole back panel? So you can't caulk above the door because it'll, get stuck. And if you try to force this door open, you'll break the seal, kind of making the whole thing pointless. So now I did notice there is a gasket like around the whole square body part, so I don't know if that's supposed to stop water, but I'm just gonna run with it. But everything looks good, everything's solid, there's no issues, everything works good. I'm gonna get some soap and some water and just clean up the area so it stays nice and white. And then today I think I'm gonna try that Touchless Car Wash that I bought. It's expensive, $40 for this gallon jug, but it has really good reviews, and I hate washing these things because they're so big. You gotta put a ladder up, go up, scrub down, or you can get a scrub brush, but I'm trying to not carry a big giant scrub brush with me. So in my case, I'd have to go up, scrub down, move the ladder over, scrub down, move the ladder over, and it's just kind of very tedious. So we'll see how it goes. You know, if there's some spots where I have to jump up and touch up with a brush or with a mitt or something like that, I'll do that. That's not an issue. I think this is still going to save a lot of time. Like I said, it has really good reviews. A lot of off-roaders use it, I noticed, ATVs, side-by-sides. So if it'll handle their mud and dirt, it should handle whatever little bit is on this. So hot, guys. 99 degrees for the next 3 days. And then when I get to New York or New Jersey, 104. I really should have just stayed down in Florida. But I am going up to see family, so there's that. By the way, about 8 a.m. this morning, I was up, Sam was making us breakfast. I did go ahead and put the underglow lights that Mick Tuning sent us out. I originally had them on the 17B. They look really nice. They're actually really for like a truck or a car. Under each wheel well, they give you 2 for each wheel well. But I decided to retrofit them and put them on this RV. So I'll show you guys how I have them mounted. I use alien tape. It's fantastic. It's heavy duty. It doesn't matter if it gets wet or anything, they stay on there. And then I also used black seam tape just to like tighten the wires up so they're not flapping in the wind. But this is what the lights look like. And there's a whole bunch of them. You guys can see them going down. Now the one issue I did have on the 17B, obviously the chassis is a lot shorter. It's like 17 feet for the actual box. So I was able to do both sides the whole length. With this, we're at 32 feet. So I was only actually able to light the front side of the frame. I didn't do like the other side. So I can go and call, or go on Mick Tuning's website and get more rock lights, I guess. I'll probably do that eventually, but for now, at least like when you're looking straight on at the RV, you know, you can see, you'll see the lights. It'll look really nice. Tonight I'll come back in and I'll show you guys how it looks. But I did one on the end. I did 2 under each, one under each wheel well. I think there's one right here. There's one right here, here, and right in the front. So it should light it up pretty good. It should be pretty damn bright. And then we have that awning light, which is awesome. When I first bought this RV, I brought it home. I'm like, crap, we don't have a porch light. I really like the porch light. I was just gonna pop up like a solar light that you stick on, which would have been really fine. But we have this LED strip light right under the awning, which really lights up the area really good. So that's awesome. Plus, it keeps the side looking cleaner. You know, you don't see so many fixtures. All right. The only thing I have to do left, because I wired all that up already, I just have to connect it to the battery. This is, so you can see this side is empty. This will go to the other side of the frame once I get more. Right now I just have the one side. And then these are really easy to install. Just you connect one to the positive terminal, one to the negative terminal, and then the other side is your switch. Now this is normally supposed to go inside your truck or car, but I just tuck it in my battery box and turn it on and off as needed. And then you can change all the colors, you know, with the app and everything. It's pretty neat, pretty cool. All right, guys, I'm gonna give this Touchless Car Wash a shot. This is $40 a jug, so hopefully it works. I put it in my foam cannon because that's the best way to put it on. I did go ahead and wet the back. I'm probably gonna wet the whole side down too, but it basically says just wet everything, spray it down nice and thick, leave it on for 2 or 3 minutes, and then spray it off. So we'll see. I think what I'm gonna do one side, and we'll really see how the difference is. So I'm gonna let this sit on here, let it droop, let it do its thing, and then we'll rinse it off and see how it looks. You know, guys, one thing I will say, I don't know if it's gonna come up on camera, but you could see the streaks of dirt breaking down and running down the camper. Now I pre-rinsed this pretty good just to get that, you know, that top surface layer of like dirt and dust off. But it's literally breaking down all the dirt and debris. Especially in this area right here, it's heavy. Let me see. A little bit over here by this window. I don't know if you guys can see it, I hope you can. But it's definitely breaking down the dirt and debris. I'm impressed already. Alright guys, it's been about 3 or 4 minutes actually. I did hit it with a second coat just for extra, why not? And now I'm gonna rinse it down and we'll see how it looks. Pro tip, if you're using a pressure washer, one, this is a very light duty pressure washer. It's only 1800 PSIs. And when you actually put like a pressure tester gauge on this, it comes out to about 1600. So it's not exactly accurate. But even still, do not get right up on these RVs. You will blow caulking out, you will blow seals. You could literally put a hole through it if you want to. So you gotta be really careful. So just stay far back and just, you know, kind of let the mist go on. It'll rinse everything down. You'll be good to go and you won't have any damage. Also, you may want to check all your seals around your windows and lights and everything before washing your RV, so you're not like pushing more water in case you're getting water damage. Pro tip. Guys, it looks really freaking clean. I mean, obviously it looks shiny right now because it's wet, but there's no more dirt. This is a sticker, a stupid Good Sam sticker they put on there. I mean, I have Good Sam and I like it. They give me discounts. Like at this place, they give you 10% off, but I don't want it on my RV. So I'm gonna get Goo Gone. I don't have any right now, but I'm gonna scrub that off. So don't mind that. But the rest of it, clean. Not that it was like overly filthy, because it's, you know, it's brand new and they washed it before I got it. Although, or at least they say they did. Who the hell knows? But it looks really nice now. So, and I didn't have to scrub. I didn't have to sit here and sweat. I'm gonna soak this side down, load it with soap, let it sit, and we'll see how it looks. This side is, you know, it's got some marks and stuff. I don't know if you guys can see it. These areas are kind of drooping from dirt and dust collecting, and then it rains and it runs down. All right, guys, soak this thing down. Did like 3 passes on it just to really soap it up. I can see it already drooping, all the dirt and dust. Again, I did a pre-soak on this to get rid of anything loose. Did the wheels too, in case there's any brake dust or whatever on it. Just a tip, not a tip, but I guess a little bit of information. I filled this thing full. So far, and I only have this much left. So it took probably 80 or more % of the bottle just to do the back and the side. So it's quite a bit of soap, but I really did soap it up. All right, guys, all done. On my next RV that we're buying next month, I'm not gonna buy something with this black glass looking panel, because every bug hits it and then it's a nightmare to get them off. I don't know if you can see it, but I didn't get them all off, and $40 for that jug, not worth it. Not worth it. I sprayed it on the truck. I washed the truck down too. The RV looks pretty good, but the RV really wasn't that dirty. The truck was filthy because we drive it a lot more. Surface dirt didn't even come off. So, you know, I mean, it looks okay. But like, if I hand washed it, like when I go up and I rub it with my finger, you can see the difference. Like, you can see the actual clean part and the dirty part. So, I don't know. I already reached out to Amazon. I'm like, yeah, give me my 40 bucks back. This stuff sucks. Do not recommend. You know, it is what it is. I tried it. Then I see with Amazon is they have a really good return policy. So we're gonna clean up here, wrap everything up that I pulled out, and then it's so freaking hot here. It's 99 degrees. And then we're gonna go to, I gotta stop at my bank, and I need to stop, which is like 37 minutes from here, by the way, because we're not very close to like any big towns. And then we're gonna stop. Oh, Sam wants to go to some store over here that closes at 6 o'clock, and it's getting there, so gotta hustle. All right, guys, the sun is slowly starting to set, so I was checking out my underglows. These are the Mick Tuning underglows. These things, they're called rock lights. They're technically supposed to be on either side of the wheel well, on like a car, or truck, Jeep, but like I said, we used them for the RV instead, and I think it looks, yeah, it looks really cool. And you can change the colors. It comes with a whole app and everything, but these are really, really nice. So you can see I only have it on one side right now. I have to get 8 more, and I can do the other side, and then it'll really do it bright. I don't know if I want to like blind people though, you know. I don't like being like obnoxious. I kind of like staying low key. We don't run them all the time, but it looks pretty good. By the way, I didn't mention a couple days ago we stopped at Discount Tire, and I put 4 brand new Goodyear Endurance tires on here, E-rated tires. I think they're 10 ply, and they are really nice. I didn't want to do this long trip with like standard tires, because like the stock tires, because they are known to blow out, and I just didn't want that issue. So now we're good. A little expensive, 900 bucks for tires, but damage like that these things can cause if they blow out, thousands. And you're off the road, you're sitting in a camping world or something. It's just not worth the struggle. So got it done. I ordered them online, stopped at the Discount Tire. They popped them on in like, I don't know, 30 minutes. Yeah, it was really quick. Mounted and balanced, all good to go. Now I feel much more comfortable on the road. We head out of here tomorrow, so I'm just filling up our fresh water tank.
It's on this the other side than usually is.
Yeah, I don't know why Heartland did that.
They said to balance it out.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they put the fresh water tank on the passenger side for some reason. But it takes forever to fill. It's a big tank.
I mean,
big tank.
It's going to come in handy for us. We're going to be boondocking for 3 days.
Yes, we're going to be at a Harvest Host. Harvest Host now lets you ask the host to stay longer. So it's not just one night stays anymore.
Well, you can book it for how many days.
Yeah.
So this day we're doing 3. Some will let you stay longer if you pay a certain amount, but they were letting us stay free for 3 days. But obviously we're going to donate for them letting us stay.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Some offer electric, some offer sewer.
Some of the prices are reasonable, some are ridiculous.
Yeah, yeah. Some places want like $60 to plug in, and I'm like, I'll run my generator for $6.
I'll go to a campground.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it just depends. You know, if you don't have any resources, if you don't have a generator or a solar, and you have to plug in, like, you're kind of stuck. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna put an ending on this video so I can get it up for you guys. I feel like I'm doing pretty good with uploading videos about every other day. So we'll see how long I can keep this momentum up.
Yeah,
Give me some encouragement, guys. Tell me you like the videos. Drop some comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.